Hey guys, Mona Lisa here, and yeah, I'm back to react to Breaking Bad, and this is the reaction for season 4, episode 10. And yeah, I'm really excited because last episode, Jesse possibly has to go down to Mexico to train the cartel guys on how to make yeah, the meth. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's how. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's a bit tricky. And yeah, obviously Gus, he's got a bit of a history. I'm not too sure what the history is and who he is, but like the cartel guy, like the Don or whatever, he was saying the only reason I haven't killed you is because you are who you are. So I can't wait to sort of find out who he is and what his background is. I sort of have an idea, but it seems like he's a bigger fish than what I initially thought he was. But yeah, I think that being said, guys, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. So Jesse's potentially, I don't think Jesse's gonna go down there. I think something's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be like a setup or something. Oh, oh, they're all going. I don't know. I just thought they were just gonna send Jesse off. Uh,
You can do this.
I mean, it's been 2 weeks since I watched the last episode, but I'm pretty sure that Gus was saying to Mike that, he doesn't know whether Jesse's going to do it or not. And if he doesn't, then, it's just one of those things. So Jesse's just a pawn. He's not something important, I don't think.
I'll cut right to the chase. Mr. Beneke, I have some bad news.
Nothing but lately.
Your great Aunt Birgit passed away.
Oh, so
I'm sorry.
you've inherited.
Well, apparently she passed away in Dykirk, Luxembourg. They traced the inheritance through to your father, but his having passed, my condolences, you are the next in line to the tune of $621,552.33.
Don't tell me that's the exact amount because I'd be stupid. That gotta be freaking scary. I mean, blindfolding you going into, yeah, nah.
Where's the phenylacetic acid?
They synthesize their own.
What? I don't do that.
El signor Pinkman pensaba que el ácido fenilacético ya estaría sintetizado para cuando él llegara.
Basta. Un estudiante di secondo anno di chimica può hacerlo.
What's he saying?
We're working it out.
Like, tell this asshole if he wants to learn how to make my product, he's got to do it my way. The right way.
I speak English.
So you understand what asshole means. Now go get me my phenylacetic acid, asshole.
How long is it going to take you to get him what he needs?
Several hours at least.
I can wait. Gives us time to talk about the state of this lab. Don't you have standards? All right, we're gonna scour every vat, every tank, every cooked surface. And then we're gonna clean up every possible source of contamination. And only then, we cook.
Okay, Walt.
I'm the guy your boss brought here to show you how it's done. You're lucky he hasn't fired your ass. Now, if you don't want that to happen, I suggest you stop whining like a little bitch and do what I say.
I'll bet his heart is going like mad inside, though.
Limpien? Sì, sì. Limpien?
Oh. Oh, don't. Oh.
Dad, you there? I'm outside. Are you okay? I don't understand. How'd you get into a fight? And with who?
I made a mistake. It's my own fault. It's all my fault.
I know it's supposed to be like satire, sort of like dark humor type of thing, but you really get engrossed in these characters.
How was your birthday?
Good. Get some rest.
I mean,
In
obviously,
your car?
Skylar and Walt have done something right because, you know, Junior,
Can you
he's
drive
got
it here?
proper heart,
Yeah.
doesn't he? And yeah, I mean, he's really grown up for his age. I mean, I think he's had to grow up. I mean, he's dealt with his own issues, and then obviously his dad getting cancer, and then everything that's followed here.
It drives great.
That's good, Jesse.
Jesse, that's not really what. Wonder if he's gonna start digging into stuff, trying to find out who Jesse is. I mean, what's to say these guys aren't just gonna kill them when Jesse's showing them what they're doing? Because from like sort of what I can understand, like Gus doesn't really have a second in command or something like that. He seems to be like the man. From what I can see, there's nobody who could easily take over. Oh, is that the percentage of how clean it is?
Yes.
Well done.
First of many.
Yeah? What's that mean?
You're staying. You belong to the cartel now.
Ah, they sold him out.
You can't come to my work like this. You're too recognizable. Your face is
Shit.
plastered on every bus bench within a 5-mile radius.
Celebrities have to get their cars washed just like everybody else. Look, I wouldn't have come if it wasn't important.
I will be reacting to Better Call Saul. Yeah, I'm sorting out like the episodes and that, and converting them and that. So yeah, I will be reacting to that after Breaking Bad.
3 hours after leaving my office.
He bought a Mercedes SL 550.
He's actually leasing it, but he put $4,500 down. He's going to pay $1,830 a month, and fully loaded. I mean, he even got the heated steering wheel. But that's upwards of $6,300 that won't be going to the IRS. I just thought you might like to know, loath as I am to say, I told you so.
I wish I could take back last night. It was your birthday. This shouldn't be on your mind.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay.
No,
I'm
it's
your
not.
father. And I don't want last night to be. My father fell very ill when I was 4 or 5. He spent a lot of time in the hospital. I knew things about my father. I had a lot of information. It's because people would tell me these things. They would paint this picture of my father for me. The only thing I could remember is him breathing. This rattling sound, like if you were shaking an empty spray paint can. That is the only real memory that I have of my father. I don't want you to think of me the way I was last night.
Oh,
I
that's what I
don't
was
want
getting at.
that to be the memory you have of me when I'm gone.
the bad way to remember you would be the way you've been this whole last year. At least last night you were
Vulnerable.
you were real.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, is that the pool where his friend got killed? Yeah.
What is this shit? I don't get a vote. I'm supposed to just stay down here forever?
I promise you this. Either we're all going home and none of us are. Now settle down.
Oh, is that guy still alive? I thought it was like Hector, who was the big man now.
Gustavo, cuánto me alegra que finalmente llegaste a la razón. Hola, joven. Este no habla ni una palabra de español, ¿o sí?
Y no es ningún químico. Se lo digo yo.
Él cocina la metanfetamina mejor que tú. Con todos tus títulos de universitarios y sofisticados. Y este va a tener bastante tiempo para aprender español. ¿O no?
Sí.
Gustavo, eres muy generoso.
Es una muestra de respeto en honor de reanudada amistad.
No, imposible. Zafiro añejo. Qué linda. Ándale pues.
I wonder if that's got like rice or
Cuidado,
something in it.
muchacho.
Oh no, he's gonna share it
Eso es
with.
algo magnífico.
One of us got some sort of poison on the bottle or something, and that's gonna be his like revenge for his friend.
Don Eladio, ese es un adicto. Para trabajar tiene que estar sobrio.
Entonces nada para ti. Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't trust it. I wouldn't either, to be fair. Like,
Salud. Salud. Ah.
I mean, I don't really think Gus would have gone down there without some kind of plan. As like Mike said, you know, either none of them are going home or they're all going home. So I wonder if there's some sort of like antidote or something that the guy's saying is like a slow poison for everybody else. And
Mira, una vez en cada 20 años se te olvida tu puesto.
Con permiso,
¿A dónde vas?
a usar el baño. Si me lo permite.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, you wouldn't trust anything, would you? Like, he's been forced to go down there and share his product with the recipe for his product, and oh, here comes Mike. What's he doing? Oh shit! So what the hell was that then? He's just able to throw that up and then be fine.
Make yourself useful. Find a gun.
Hey, you still with us? Go.
Mike, you're okay. You're okay. I mean, if Jesse was smart, he'd just fucking leave him there. Sorry, swearing. That was a really good episode. That was crazy. I thought this, I can't remember his name, the Don. I thought he was gonna be a bigger character than what we saw. I really enjoyed that episode. There was so many. There wasn't a lot going on, but there was so much going on, if that makes sense. So yeah, we started off with the guys. Well, Jesse, Gus, and Mike getting a plane down to Mexico. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just thinking that Gus was just going to send Jesse down there by himself, but obviously there was a bigger plan at the end, so that would be why they went as well. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. It didn't occur to me that Gus was gonna assassinate everybody. Well, kill them all, have them all killed. I should have known that really because he wants revenge for what's happened 20 years ago. But yeah, let's just go through it. Yeah, so the next thing we had Walt. He's just basically passed out, and that was obviously after the fight with Jesse, and he took some really strong painkillers with beer, and I think we all know that that sort of stuff doesn't mix. So yeah, he missed Junior's birthday. Yeah. We had Skylar on the phone trying to get a hold of Walt, and Junior comes out, and she gets Junior to go out, and I can't remember what, but he had to go outside, and yeah, there was the car, his birthday present, and he didn't look too impressed. I thought it was a cute car, but cute is not what guys want, is it? So I would take it. I don't drive, but I would take it definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a young guy. I think he's probably disappointed because the last car he had was like his dream car, and now he has a car that's like a make-do car. It still looks really new and that, so it's not like a piece of shit like a lot of starter cars are. So yeah. And then we had the guys sort of like blindfolded, and then they were taken down to the it looked like sort of like a warehouse or an old like factory or something like that, where they were doing the cooking, and yeah, they were introduced to these guys. Obviously Jesse not understanding anything these guys say because they're talking like Spanish, and he doesn't understand any of that. And yeah, I understand Jesse completely, especially now after we've taken my new job on. Yeah. And he's sort of like the only way he knows it is the stuff that's already mixed, and they hadn't done that, and Jesse was like, "No, I can't do this," and he was sort of like the way he was explaining it to the guy was like, "I'm the big man here, you're not. I'm the one who knows how to cook this, and I know how to do it right, and you're just gonna do whatever the hell I say you're gonna do." And it was a gutsy move. That could have gone really wrong, but he played it off and he made it convincing. I think maybe in a way that the way he was looking, he had some bruises on his face from a fight, so it sort of looks like he's not afraid to sort of get his hands dirty or whatever. So I think that's what it looked like. I remember I was watching an Edward Norton movie. I think it was the 25th hour or something it was called, or the 13th. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, he had to go to prison, and he just basically got somebody to beat the hell out of him just before he went into prison. So he sort of looked like a guy you don't really want to be messing with. He didn't look clean and that, so yeah. And that's also sort of how I sort of saw Jesse. Like, he looks legit. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. And yeah, he's just basically saying this is what we're gonna do, and then he sort of went into like, I would say, Walt mode. Like, oh, this is disgusting, this is dirty, and all this and that. You guys are gonna clean this place down before I do anything. And yeah, and you can just see Gus and Mike were like, hmm, okay, the kid got guts, and yeah, 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 he knows what he's doing. So I think they were quite impressed with him. So yeah, I love that scene. It was sort of like Jesse going into Walt mode, and yeah, and it worked for him. So yeah, I love that. And obviously, then we had yeah, Junior going to see Walt. And he's like, you know, I'm worried about you. You missed my birthday. Like, that's not something apparent. I mean, especially like Walt, because he loves his family allegedly, and he wouldn't miss Junior's birthday normally. And so Junior was like, I'm gonna call 911 if you don't open. I know you're in there because I'm worried about you. So obviously Walt doesn't really have a choice but to let Junior in, and yeah, Walt is a bit of a mess. And he was sort of just saying that yeah, he'd started gambling again, and then he got into a fight, and yeah, obviously that fight was with Jesse, and he sort of confessed that he'd made a huge mistake, and you know, it was all his own fault and that. And Junior's sitting there listening to that. I feel so bad for this kid. He's having to deal with a lot. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, we all have our past and that, and you know, like Junior had, yeah, it's I understand what sort of like Junior's going through. It's not fun. And yeah, and obviously as Junior was leaving, Walt was saying, you know, Jesse, sort of talking to Jesse, but it was Junior who was there, so he was, you know, that's so it's a bit of a like, who is this Jesse then? Like, I don't know if Junior is gonna sort of try and work out who Jesse is and sort of find out what his parents are up to in that way, maybe. I could see that happening. He's a pretty switched on kid, so I wouldn't be surprised if Junior is gonna work out what's going on. So yeah. And then we went to Jesse actually cooking, and that is a lot of pressure, isn't it? Like, he has all these guys taking notes, watching him and filming him and all that, filming absolutely every move he makes. And yeah, in the end, I think it came up to 96% clean, and that was pretty impressive. I mean, under that sort of pressure, Jesse's definitely picked up from what he needs to be doing. So yeah, he's legit now, isn't he? So yeah, I'm proud of Jesse. So yeah, I love that. And he was pretty pleased with himself as well. So yeah, that was brilliant. He put these guys in their place. Um, and then we went. Yeah, well, I think. Oh, we had Saul seeing Ted, and Ted's just an idiot, basically. And you know, the way that Saul was like, "Oh yeah, you had this family member from somewhere, and yeah, you've inherited some money," and it's like, crazy. I mean, it does happen to some people, don't they? They receive money from people they've never even met or heard about. So you know, it could happen. And then Saul went to see Skylar and saying, you know, that Ted is leasing this expensive car, and yeah, he's not really paying off the debt, is he? He's an idiot. So yeah, Skylar's having to go and see Ted. Yeah, he's just an idiot. I mean, I'm glad she didn't get in a relationship with him, or you know, just have your fun with him and then dump him. He's not worth it. He's an idiot. And yeah, that's how I feel about it. So I don't know how you feel. You probably feel differently, but yeah. We had then Walt waking up, and he went to see Junior. Junior was still there, and Junior had made a cover story that he was at. What's his friend's name? I can't remember, but yeah, he was at his friend's house, and you know, he's getting dragged into these sort of lies that Walt is putting out. So I don't like that, but yeah. So Walt was sort of saying that his memory of his father was sort of like when he was dying in the hospital, where he really smelled of disinfectant and that sort of stuff to cover up the smell. Because it is true, like my mom used to drag me to, to like hospitals to see sick people and that she knew, and I was very young as well, and there's this sort of like smell of people dying, and it's I don't know if you've ever smelled it before, but it's a very horrible smell, and they got a sort of like this like yellow look to them. Yeah, sort of yellowish grey look to them, and it's it's not a great thing as a little kid to yeah. But yeah, that's sort of like the memory he had of his father, and he didn't want Junior to sort of remember him as he was the night before. And like Junior said, that's not such a bad thing, because you were showing you were real, not like you'd been the last year. The memory I want of you is not how you were the last year. That's not how I want to remember you. And yeah, good on Junior, because yeah, Walt has been an absolute asshole the last year, and yeah, it is time that he starts to show some emotion and that. So yeah, that was a really good scene, an emotional scene, and I think just shows how grown up Junior's had to become. And yeah, he's a great kid. We went over to Skylar. Yeah, no, actually, I was just gonna say, like, it's funny because I remember a lot of stuff from when I was even like 2 years old, and from I don't know, for some reason I remember a lot from my past. And it's weird because like my main memory of my grandfather was when we were at his house, my grandfather and grandmother's house, and I was about 4 years old, and my grandfather like fell over. He just passed out or whatever, and the ambulance, they had to call the ambulance. I can't quite remember what was wrong with him, but they had to call the ambulance, and they came and they took him out on the like stretcher. And I just remember them saying, "Okay, Mr. Masson, we're gonna have to go now." And he was like, "No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere." And it's just weird. But I suppose it was like a scary moment without you really realizing that it's scary. There's just something about it, even as a kid, you sort of, I don't know, I suppose you put two and two together, that, there's something, not wrong right here. And that's sort of like a memory that sticks, because it's so out of place with what you would normally like. It's not a happy memory. It's something that is quite scary. So you remember that better than other things, I think. And I think that's sort of like the what remember of his father. That's something that stood out. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, Skylar went to see Ted, and she's like, "Oh, okay. So I take it you're gonna be paying your money to the RIS." And Ted was like, "Yeah, just stay out of my business, and this and that doesn't concern you anymore." But yeah, no, it does concern her. And yeah, if she gets caught, then there's a lot. Then Walt gets caught, and then Gus, and it's gonna be a whole thing. And yeah, we can't have that, can we? So yeah, I think if Ted doesn't pay that money, he's gonna get some visitors, and it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go very well. So and him saying to Skylar, like, "Yeah, just get out of here. It doesn't concern you anymore." No, it does, and he's just an idiot. He's not worth the trouble. He really isn't. And yeah, I hope he pays it. Well, he's gonna have to, isn't he? Otherwise, I don't think he's gonna be. Yeah, I think accidents happen. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, we then went down to sort of like the end scene in Mexico at the what's his name, Don Eladio's house. And obviously, the first sort of picture we saw or scene we saw was Gus standing at the pool where his friend, what sounded like it was 20 years ago, was killed in front of him, and he was spared because he was who he was. And I'm not too sure who he is or why he was spared. What was the reason that he was spared? I don't know if he's part of some sort of family and he's taken that over or something, but I would imagine I'm going to be told later. But yeah, and then we had Mike saying, to Jesse that don't worry about it. Either we're all going home or none of us are going home. So it was a plan, definitely, that yeah, it was a it was a hit. So yeah, Don Eladio came out with all these guys, and he was really, what's the word, patronizing, and there's a word for it, and I can't remember what it is, but he was just being a right prick, wasn't he? Sort of like shoving it in, yeah, Gus's face, like, yeah, I know your place, kind of thing. Yeah, and you could just sort of see, like, when Don Eladio said, like, yeah, every 20 years, do you remember? I mean, it was just like, it wasn't a big expression, but you can just see the expression in Gus's face change, and I was just like, that hit him, didn't it? That his friend was killed, and yeah. And I should have known Gus had a plan to go down there. You know, I think everything he does is calculated, and yeah, I should have known it would be a hit. But yeah, so they present him with this like present, and it was a drink, and I think he knew that he was going to share the drink with everybody, just to make sure that Gus wasn't pulling a fast one, it wasn't poison or something like that, and yeah, he had. He had Gus drink the first shot, and then the rest of them took the shot, and it was like, oh, okay, so it sort of looked like, okay, so there's nothing in the drink. I thought it might have been something like some sort of I can't remember what the what oh, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like if you touch it, it will kill you. You see it a lot in like Criminal Minds and you know, these CSI shows and that. But yeah, is it arsenic? I can't remember now, but yeah. So I thought it might have been that he touched that and he would die, but then, you know, the rest of the guys would, you know, kill Gus and that. But yeah, it was obviously poisoned, and Gus managed to go to the bathroom and throw it up, and by throwing most of it up, I think he would just be sick. It didn't actually kill him. So yeah, it was a bit of a like, oh yeah, Mike came around with this like wire, and yeah, started killing people, and he told Jesse, yeah, get a gun, you know, make yourself useful. And Jesse was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, he wasn't expecting that, but yeah. And Jesse ended up killing the right-hand man, and I can't remember what his name was either. But he was the one who was like negotiating on behalf of Eladio. So yeah. And obviously he got Gus and Mike out of there, and Mike got shot. I think Mike's gonna be okay. He doesn't die, does he? He's like a, yeah, he's one of the old school guys. He's gonna be okay. But yeah, I mean, if what I think Jesse, if I mean, I think he was like in a panic, wasn't he? He's like, we need to get out of here. I think if Jesse had been clever, I suppose he didn't have any bullets left in his gun, but the easiest thing would have been for Jesse to kill both of them and just get the hell out of there. You know, I don't think Gus has anybody like a right hand man who could like. Well, we've not seen anybody, have we? Because yeah, I think he maybe could have got away with that. Maybe. Oh, well, anyway, he didn't do it, but I mean, that would have been sort of like the smart move, I suppose. Yeah, kill them and get the hell out of there, and just forget all about it. Move somewhere where nobody knows you, and end off. But yeah, he didn't. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen now. I mean, he's proved himself to both Mike, well, to Gus especially, hasn't he? So yeah, things could change for Jesse. Now I can't wait for the next episodes. I'm gonna stop here because I'm just like, my mind is just blown. But I just want to thank you guys so much for your patience. I know I haven't uploaded in the last 2 weeks because I started a new job, and honestly, like, I've been getting home like 6:15, then cooking dinner, and you know, by the time I'm done that, it's like 7:15, 7:30, and yeah, I pass out at like 9 o'clock. I fall asleep at 9 o'clock. So, you know, that's when I normally start editing and that. So I'm going to get back into the rhythm, and I'm going to back on track. But, you know, at the moment, it's going to be a little bit of hit and miss. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for your patience with me. And please don't unsubscribe or anything like that, because, you know, I will get back on track. And yeah, I just want to thank you patrons as well for your patience and that, and watching my reactions and that. And yeah, that being said, guys, I am going to start editing this down. And yeah, I'll see you in my next reaction.